The kettle whistled in the background as I sat by the window, watching the morning sun stretch its golden arms across my garden. Everything seemed perfect, too perfect. Just yesterday, while searching for my missing health card in Daniel's drawer, I stumbled upon a sealed brown envelope. I didn't intend to pry, but curiosity is a powerful force, especially when the envelope bears your name. Inside, I found a life insurance policy, in my name, with Daniel listed as the sole beneficiary. My heart clenched. My world shifted. Daniel, my only son, had always been the light of my life. Ever since his father passed, we had clung to each other through grief and hardship. I raised him on love and leftovers, laughter and life lessons. He grew into a kind young man, or so I believed. But that policy screamed betrayal. It wasn't the money that disturbed me. It was the secrecy. The implications. Was I just a ticking clock to him? A payday waiting to expire? This morning, he walked in with his usual charming smile, carrying a tray with 2 steaming cups of tea, my favorite blend, honey ginger. "Here, Mom," he said, placing the cup gently in front of me. I forced a smile, but my insides twisted with doubt. I stared at the tea longer than I should have, wondering if I should even drink it. Was I paranoid? Or was my life in danger from the one person I trusted most? "Did you sleep well?" he asked, his voice warm. I nodded. "Sure." My voice was brittle, like dry leaves in the wind. He didn't notice. Or perhaps he chose not to. I watched him take a sip of his own tea, his eyes crinkling as he spoke about work, bills, and some friend's wedding he had to attend. But I wasn't listening. All I could hear was the echo of that paper unfolding in my hands. That bold number written across the top, $500,000. Later that morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I placed my cup down slowly and said, "Daniel, I found something yesterday. A life insurance policy in my name. Want to tell me what that's about?" The air turned thick. His hand froze midair. He blinked, as though my words had struck him like a slap. I could see the gears in his mind scrambling. "Mom. I didn't mean for you to find out like that." His voice cracked, and for a moment, I saw fear, not the fear of being caught, but fear of losing something precious. "I can explain." He sat across from me, his shoulders sagging under the weight of whatever truth he carried. "It's not what it looks like." "It looks like you're preparing for my death," I said flatly. What kind of son does that without telling his mother? Daniel buried his face in his hands. "I took the policy because I'm scared," he admitted. "Not of you dying, but of what would happen to you if something happened to me. What if I had an accident? What if I wasn't here tomorrow? You'd be alone, unprotected." He looked up, his eyes glassy. "That policy was meant to make sure you'd be okay. I know I'm the beneficiary, but if anything happened to me, the funds would roll into your name." I set it up like that. I felt as if someone had poured cold water down my back. Was it possible? Had I misunderstood everything? Had my fear blinded me so completely that I couldn't see the love in his actions? I recalled the nights he stayed up late, going through paperwork. I thought he was distracted, perhaps even hiding something sinister. But maybe he was planning my future. Silently. Carefully. Lovingly. Why keep it a secret? I asked again, this time more softly. "I didn't want to worry you. You've already spent your whole life worrying, about me, about money, about everything. I thought, maybe I could do something that would give you peace. Something you wouldn't have to think about." Tears welled up in my eyes. My son, my baby boy, was trying to protect me in the only way he knew how. I had let my fear consume me. I had forgotten a boy who used to bring me wildflowers from the park, who gave up college parties to work double shifts so I could afford my medication, who kissed my forehead every night, no matter how tired he was. I reached for his hand. He flinched, thinking I was still angry, but I wrapped my fingers around his. "Thank you," I whispered. "For caring more than I realized." From that day forward, everything changed. We talked more, really talked. About finances, about fears, about the future. We laughed over old memories and created new ones. The document that once felt like a dagger became a symbol of something else: sacrifice. A young man's quiet, powerful love for the woman who raised him. Life has a cruel way of testing trust. Sometimes it presents us with situations that seem black and white, when in truth, they are painted in hues of love, fear, and flawed humanity. I learned that assumptions can be deadly, not in the literal sense, but in the emotional cost they demand. If I had confronted him with anger instead of curiosity, I might have driven a wedge between us. But choosing to listen brought us closer. Now, every time Daniel brings me tea, I see the love in his eyes, not the shadow of a suspicious motive. Every sip is a reminder that love, in its truest form, is not loud or boastful. It's quiet, careful, and willing to go unnoticed if it means someone else sleeps better at night. In the end, my son didn't take a policy to gain something from my death. He took it to ensure my life, my comfort, my peace, would be secure. That kind of love doesn't need explanations. Just understanding. And so I live now, not with suspicion, but with gratitude. Because the greatest security any parent can have isn't in dollars or documents. It's in knowing your child would move mountains, not for your death, but to give you a better life while you're still breathing. And sometimes, that starts with a simple cup of tea.